This is a story, a fantastically true story, from the files of Herbert A. Philbrick, who for 9 frightening years did lead 3 lives: citizen, communist, counter-spy, and who has now revealed for the first time his secret files concerning not only his own activities, but also the current activities of other counter-espionage agents. For obvious reasons, the names, dates, and places have been changed, but the story is based on fact. Philbrick brings you the story of a counter-spy who investigated a seemingly minor situation and covered treason. On the outside, an ordinary-looking bungalow. But behind the blinds on the first floor, a secret school where neophytes learn the ABCs of communism. You're the teacher, Philbrick. Call the class to order. Oh. Good afternoon, everybody. Today's entire session is going to be devoted to a test. Now, I know this comes as a surprise to you. You haven't had any chance to prepare. But then, as communists, we must be ready for emergency situations, mustn't we? The test will consist of these 10 true and false questions and a 5-page essay on the meaning of the Communist Manifesto today. Okay? Well, Comrade Zach, let me see one of those. He's the district secretary. Comrade Susan's fiancé, Wally Dunmar, is involved in any communist scheme. If he were, why would she conceal her party membership from him by telling him she went shopping? I will continue to observe her at future class meetings, although after today's bad start it may prove difficult. Herb Philbrick. Hope the FBI can use this report, Philbrick. Perhaps the greatest inspiration to party members everywhere in the world is the life of Comrade Nikolai Lenin. That'll be the topic of discussion at our next meeting. Class is dismissed. Oh, please remember to leave the building singly and at suitable intervals.
Comrade Herb.
No?
You give your students good advice. How come you don't follow it yourself?
What do you mean?
You began today's class by stating that party members must never act on their own.
That's right. Every move we make must be planned by higher authority.
Yet the other day, you acted without orders.
When you brought those gloves to my house.
I was just thinking of party security. I was afraid they might be traced to you. I didn't want to leave them here.
You should have checked with me first. Now you'll have to help patch things up.
Between my fiancé and me, you came at the worst possible moment. You made all the excuses I'd been giving him seem like lies.
By returning your gloves?
Never mind the details. The important thing is that Dunmar got suspicious and broke off their engagement.
Because of me?
He was in a bad mood to begin with. One word led to another and he left.
You'll do whatever she thinks best to repair the damage.
I'll work something out and contact you in the next day or so.
And in the future, practice what you preach. Don't act without authority.
You're taking a beating, Philbrick, but you're learning things. Now you know that Susan's romance is a party assignment. Why?
Hi, Jerry.
Hello, Herb.
I got your report on Susan. Have you learned anything else?
I think the party's using Susan to recruit Wally Dunmar.
Not recruit, Herb. We made a fast check on Dunmar. He's chief of research at Stratford Industrials. They're building guided missiles.
Now it all checks, the whole thing.
Yeah, but there's a lot more we have to know. For instance, is Dunmar knowingly helping her?
He doesn't know she's a communist.
Well, that's what she says.
Well, after all, he broke off the engagement.
Did he? Well, the FBI is making a thorough check on Dunmar through plant security.
Going to question him directly?
Not until we know more. We don't want to scare him into cover. Well, you've done a good job on this, Herb. Now you can stay out of it.
Unfortunately, I've been ordered to help Susan get Wally back.
How?
I don't know yet. She called me a while ago. I'm to meet her tomorrow morning at the West County Tennis Court for further instructions.
Now be careful what you do, Herb. Not only for the sake of your own skin, but for Dunmar's. If it turns out that he's not consciously working with the party, he's going to need protection.
Yeah. I'll see you, Jerry.
See you.
It's almost 10:30 now.
Now you know exactly what to say.
Yeah, I think so. How do you know he'll show up?
He comes here every Saturday morning. This is where I first met him. Let me know what happens.
Mr. Dunmar, I don't know if you remember me. I'm Arthur Trowbridge.
What do you want?
Well, Susan told me you play tennis here every Saturday morning.
I'm no champ. I'd rather not have a gallery.
Susan tells me you've broken off your engagement.
Look, I didn't come down here to shoot the breeze.
I just want you to know I think you're making a mistake. Susan and I are just friends.
So what?
That day I returned her gloves. She really had been downtown shopping. I was with her.
Why didn't you say so then, instead of acting like a couple of conspirators?
Well, you kind of caught us both off guard.
You're telling me.
Look, the thing we were trying to keep from you was...
Well, what?
You promised not to let on to Susan that I told you.
Told me what?
She was shopping for a wedding present for you. I was helping her pick one out. She wanted it to be a surprise.
Wally, with all my... Where's the rest of it?
Well, the jeweler hadn't finished it yet, but when I heard you'd broken off on my account, I went downtown and picked this up to show it to you.
Hey, Art, I've been an awful heel.
Not as much of a one as you'll be if you let on to Susan that I showed this to you.
Oh, don't worry. When she gives it to me, I'll act real surprised.
Then you'll call her?
Just as soon as I can get to her phone. Now, you must think I'm an awful child flying off the handle the way I did, but it's my work. Secret government stuff, and just too much pressure. Some of the fellows come down with ulcers. Others, like myself, just get nervous and suspicious and just impossible to live with. I'm terribly sorry.
Congratulations, Philbrick. Nice job of setting up a loyal American for a spy. Comrade Susan, an expert at dreaming up convincing lies. A girl with her sights aimed high at top secret information.
Waiting for me?
Well, I just thought I'd check on the results of my talk with Wally.
It was perfect.
Oh. Anything else I can do?
Just stay away from now on and forget what happened.
You'll stay away, Philbrick, but you won't forget. And neither will the FBI. They're already at work on a new book called Susan's Diary.
Good morning, darling.
Monday, Dunmar drove her to work. They lunched separately. She left her office at 4, took the bus to his neighborhood, bought groceries, let herself into his apartment with a key and fixed dinner. He came home at 7. She left at 9 and went home. He went to bed at 9:30. On Tuesday, she left her office at 3, stopped off at her apartment.
Yeah, and then attended my class. Left 20 minutes early.
Was Comrade Zach there?
Oh, yeah, he put in an appearance. He's keeping an eye on me.
He's probably keeping an eye on Susan, too. Did she remember to take her gloves this time?
Yeah.
Well, on Wednesday... Now, relax, he's one of my men. Wednesday, the pattern was the same as Monday.
Well, there seems to have been plenty of opportunity for him to pass along secret information.
Yeah, but I don't think he's a spy. Plant security gives him a clean bill of health. He's been cleared by 4 security boards in the past 2 years.
Well, maybe Susan just figures that she'll steal any notes or plans or anything of that sort that he leaves around the apartment.
Yeah, she's usually there alone every night, 10 or 15 minutes fixing dinner. The big question is, how does she pass this information along to the party?
Her only contact is my class. And it's not much of a contact. She just shows up, does her work, and goes her way. Doesn't talk to anybody, not even Comrade Zach.
Herb, today Dunmar started the most important phase of his project. Plant security thinks that this is what the communists are after. We can't just sit by and watch. We've got to make a move.
Any but the most routine sort of check will alert the party.
Well, our investigation will seem routine. Don't worry about that. When's your next class?
This afternoon.
Well, she usually stops around her apartment before she goes to class. She should be at her apartment about 3:30. Let's check back here before you go to class. Miss Fraser?
Yes?
I'm from the FBI. May I come in?
Why, of course.
I won't take much time. I'm just making a routine check on a Mr. Wallace Dunmar.
Oh, he's my fiance.
Yes. How long have you known him?
About 6 months and 4 days.
Would you care to make a statement regarding his loyalty to the United States?
Gladly. His loyalty is absolutely unquestionable.
Thank you. What's the nature of his work?
He tells me he's a scientific researcher.
Don't you believe him?
He never discusses his work with me. I hope I haven't made you suspicious of him.
No, not at all. You mind if I inspect this?
Why? Has something been stolen?
No, just a routine spot checkup. You don't have to submit to it if you don't want to.
Oh, I don't mind. Go ahead.
Thank you. All right. Thanks.
If there's anything else, please don't hesitate to call on me.
I won't.
Hello, Zach? Susan. The FBI was just here checking on Wally. No, they didn't find a thing. Of course I have it. No, it was strictly just a routine checkup. Right.
We've played this game before. A little bit. We talked with Susan, Herb, checked the contents of her purse.
Find anything?
No, she was very smooth. I have a notion she's operating right under our noses. Watch her in class. If she passes anything to one of the other students, signal me with the Venetian blinds. I'll be right across the street.
Nice shot. Oh. Good afternoon. We all here? Let's get started. Today, we're going to take up the topic of capitalistic imperialism. Comrade Susan, I wonder if you'd tell the class, what is your concept of capitalistic imperialism?
Basically, capitalistic imperialism is a plot of big business and vested interest to gain total economic control of the world.
Yes. Yes, that comes pretty close to a definition. Now, one of the most vicious of the tactics of the capitalistic imperialists is condoning democracy and seeming to condone a high standard of living for the workers. This tends to lull the workers into a sense of security under capitalism, and they ignore the dangerous activities of the private ownership groups. What the workers fail to realize in a soft democracy is that once the cartels of the world get control of all the world's economy, that high standard of living is going to be jerked right out from under the workers. Well, I guess that's all for today. Class is dismissed. What happened there, Philbrick? Did Susan take her own purse? Better signal Dressler. Morning, Jerry.
Hi. Sorry to keep bothering you, Herb, but you were right. We picked up that woman when you signaled with the Venetian blinds. She had Susan's purse.
I wasn't sure they switched purses. It was just an educated guess.
All we need is another educated guess. What was Susan passing along to this other woman? We questioned this woman last night for hours. She claimed she picked up the wrong purse by mistake. I've gone over all this stuff thoroughly, and I can't find a thing.
Well, maybe the switch was a mistake.
Well, that's what we want to know is in here.
Let me see it. Well, it's Susan's handwriting, I think. Dear Emily, thank you so much for the darling sweater. I'm insanely jealous that I can't knit 1/10 as well. Love, Mary.
Mary? And the address is a phony, too. We checked it out. There's no return address on this envelope. This letter wasn't even meant to be mailed. You suppose that message could be in code, Herb?
Golly, I don't know, Jerry. I don't know much about party codes.
Well, I'll send all this stuff over to the lab. Have them try to decode the letter. Check it for invisible writing, whatever else is necessary.
All right. In the meantime, I'll keep my eyes open. I'll check into this party code business, but it's risky.
Hey, wait a minute. I think I found something here.
What?
A microfilm negative.
That's a negative?
Sure, I've seen them only half that size. Now we can make an arrest.
Wally! Wally, I didn't think I'd be able to see you.
I've been here all night. I learned a great deal about you.
Wally, you don't believe those awful things they've accused me of?
They had me identify a microfilm of the sketch I threw into my wastepaper basket. You're the only person that had access to that sketch. The only one. I'm happy to say it was nothing important. So it was all a phony. Our meeting, our engagement.
Don't feel so sorry for yourself. You're not the first guy that got played for a sucker.
Thanks.
Thanks for what?
For talking the way you did. For being yourself. It's just the way I want to remember you.
This way, Miss Fraser. What's up?
You got my message. Good. Where's your class roster?
Right here.
I'll take it.
Here it is.
Good. Your other class records?
Well, there's this grading sheet. Hey, what's the matter? What's happened?
It's an extra. Just hit the streets.
Espionage. I thought I heard a newsboy yelling something about this. Plot was discovered by an alert FBI agent during a routine security investigation of Dunmar. his relatives and friends.
They arrested Jane, too, right outside here the other day. So your class is discontinued till further notice.
Wow. Well, here. You better take these notes for a lecture I was preparing.
All right. Get going, and keep out of contact with the party until you're contacted. I have to stay around here and close up.
Does the FBI suspect me, too?
No. Comrade Susan has brains. She didn't implicate any of us. We're still in business.
Yes, still in business. But not for long, Comrade Zack. The FBI has your number. They'll catch up with you, too, one of these days. One of these days, real soon. Next week, we'll bring you another story from the files of Herbert A. Philbrick. The kind of story that could only be told by a man who for 9 fantastic years served as a counter spy for the Federal Bureau of Investigation.